All right, fellas. It's week 2, and I have a whole thing scripted out what I was gonna do here today, this evening. I was excited writing out this script. I was excited about the video, and now I'm not. I'm angry. I've tried to make the league a little bit better, make a few adjustments. Something happens. Of course, I'm gonna work on it and see what happened and try and see what the changes were and why the score changed in Joey's game. But now I got people losing their minds, not realizing, of course, I'm going to take care of it. That's what I do. I take care of things. And then, Joey. Didn't realize you were such a fucking crybaby. Me and you emailing, I'm letting you know the steps and the measures I'm taking to try and figure out what happened, to see what the reason was the points came off. And then I get a text message from Shmoo telling me you're crying your eyes out to him on email, pissed about this and the other thing. Little did I know, you were crying your eyes out to Shmoo. Fucking crybaby. The Jet. Just change your name to Crybaby. And then you, Shmoo, and Kuba, the last time you mentioned through this video, because your game doesn't exist this week on this video, grow up. I take care of business. I handle it. It is what it is. You guys want to blow things out of proportion, go for it. But you're fucking weirdos. That's it. Done. Said. It adjusts tonight. I'm pretty sure it will, Joey. So, last week, if the Joey thing adjusts, I was 3-3. If not, 2-4. And I don't really care if you win or lose, Joey. I just don't. Same to you, Shaw. I don't care. I only care about my team. I only care about me winning. That's how it is. I'm on the business of setting up wins for other people. Anyways, deadbeat section. Igor paid. Clint and Shaw, deadbeats. Enough said. How about you get it done? Anyone who paid me in checks, I'm cashing them this weekend, just so you know I haven't done it yet. There you go. Segment 2, MFK. Who am I marrying? I'm marrying DeForge's team. Jay Cutler looks to be the real deal this year. McCoy, Green, both solid running backs, and Andre 3000 looks to be back. He is a beast. And you got Gronkowski. So I'm thinking you're here to stay. Your team's going to be strong again. You're always producing, you're always winning, that's what you do. Who am I going to fuck? It's going to be Igor. I'm playing you this week, Igor, but I think you got a sexy team. But I don't know if it's here to stay. Ridley, are the Pats going to lean on him, rely on him? Who knows? MJD's back, which we all know he's going to get relied on. Calvin, a monster. But I just don't know about Eli this year. Just don't know. I think what I've been saying to everybody leading up to this year, that the 5,000-yard passers, those crazy passing numbers were a bit of an aberration last year. Again, we had some 300-yard passes this week, but there was no numbers put up like there was last year, week 1. And I don't see it happening the same as it was last year. So, especially for those mediocre quarterbacks that blew up like Eli, who's great in the playoffs and he's a winner, but typically not a 4,900-yard passer and 40-touchdown type of guy. And who am I killing? Sorry, Mike, you got to do it. Got to kill you. You drafted completely out of your element. You were in the top of the draft, so you never knew what it was like to draft at number 2, and you can't miss on your second and third round picks. Fred Jackson got hurt, but Turner so far, 1 week, but he doesn't look to be a third round caliber guy. A-Rod's a beast, but you waited on your wide receivers, and you got Decker and Bo. Decker and Bo? You usually have top-notch receivers. Those guys are okay. But you got 700 points last week in our league. Very bad. I hope you turn it around. I like it. Kind of like you. We'll see what happens. Shake and bake segment. I'm losing my mind here because I get so much on it. Last week I picked Deshaun Jackson. He didn't go nuts, but he went off for 70-plus yards. Had some decent receptions. This week I'm going Reggie Wayne. The guy had 9 catches, $135 last week. This week versus Minnie, probably going to be somewhere around the same. 100 yards, probably TD. Reggie Wayne is back. Shake and bake. I don't have my box. We ate the shake and bake. I got to get a new one. Booms and busts. This is kind of a segment where now I'm putting one of my guys in the booms every week. I'm putting someone against who I'm going against in the bust. That's just how I'm going to do it because it's my video, and that's what I feel like doing. So booms. Jordy Nelson tonight. 100 yards, 2 TDs is what I see against Chicago. Boom. I think Darren Sproles is going to have a big game this week against New Orleans. I think they're going to start using him like they did last year. And I think Matt Shaw versus Jacksonville. Big numbers. Bus, CJ2K. I passed on him at number 8 in the draft for a reason. I didn't think he had any burst or any balls in the preseason. And he didn't have any last week, I'll tell you that. Then I'm going to go with Ridley versus Arizona. That's my bust for my opponent, Igor. Varine's healthy. Well, not healthy, but he's going to be in the pads this week. He's going to steal some carries. I think Brady goes nuts this week, and I just don't think really gets the 25 touches, 25 carries, really gets what he needs. And this guy's probably going to have a good game, but for all the hype he's getting, I'm going to call him a bust. CJ Spiller. Yeah, he's good. He proved himself a little bit last year. He went off against the Jets, who haven't stopped the run in the last 2 years. But this week against KC looked good against the run last week, and they're not good against the pass. So I don't think C.J. Spiller is going to break 100 yards. Might be 80, maybe 80 in a touch, but he's not going to get 150 in 2 touches like everyone's talking about. So I think temper the expectations a little bit on C.J. Spiller. And now we're on to the matchups. Matchup number 1. Me versus Igor. I'm 0-1. Igor's 1-0. Matty Ice versus Eli Manning. I got Matty Ice on Monday night versus Denver. He's got Eli versus Tampa Bay. Edge me. Running backs. MJ Dean Ridley. Like I said, I already called Ridley a bust, so it's going to be a bust. McFadden's a monster. He's going off for me against Miami. And did we all see the little red paper thing next to Ryan Matthews? Full pads practice, baby. My top 2 are going to be in the lineup, I have a feeling. Edge me. Wide receivers, I'll give it to him with Calvin. Knicks, I don't really trust this year. I don't know if you're going to start him or Lloyd, but Calvin obviously gives you the edge. But Percy and Jordy, I think Jordy goes off tonight. It's not going to be pretty, Igor. Fleener for me, Gresham for you. I think that's a wash. Doesn't matter. I never pick against myself. Me going 1-1. Igor dropping to 1-1. Game number 2, Joey versus Mikey. Mikey's 0-1 with 700 points scored last week. Joey, you're either 0-1 or 1-1. That game's up for grabs there. We're trying to figure this all out. Bottom line is, Mikey, I just don't see it, man. A-Rod versus Breeze, that's kind of a wash. I think Breeze puts up some numbers this week, although he does usually struggle against Carolina on the road. But AP and Sproles versus Michael Turner and Reggie Bush, AP and Sproles. Then you got D-Jax, who's a little bit nicked up. But Antonio Brown versus Decker and Bo, I'm going Joey. Then I'm going Pettigrew over Witten. I mean, unless Witten's spleen is better now, which I'm not sure it is. I hope you pulled together, Mikey, but right now this is going to Joey. Matchup 3 was the other 2 that I'm not mentioning today, and I'm not picking a winner. So I'm only picking 5 games. Number 4, DeForge versus JJ. 2 1-0 teams. 2 teams that look pretty solid this year. Cutler versus Schaub. I think this is a wash. Both are going to blow up. Packers defense has proven to be no better than they were last year if week 1 holds true. Schaub versus Jacksonville. Enough said there. Running backs. Arian Foster. Dude's a beast. He's going nuts. He's definitely going nuts this week against Jacksonville. DeForge, of course, has LaShawn. He's got Sean Green, but they're going against Baltimore and Pittsburgh, respectively. Tough rush defenses. Edge going to Justin on that one. And he's got C.J. Spiller. I don't think he'll go for the crazy numbers, but he'll put up some decent numbers. Wide receivers, I'm going to lean a little bit towards you, DeForge here. Andre 3000, Marcus Colston versus Demaryius Thomas and Dez Bryant. It could be even, but I needed to give you something here. That was it. But you definitely have the big edge in the tight end with Gronk and Finley. All in all, I think Justin pulls this one out. I think it's going to be a squeaker. This was almost the game of the week. But I think Justin just has enough with Arian and CJ, and I don't like your running back matchups at all. And that brings us to our 2 game segments. In segment number 1, boop, 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 boop. Blowout of the week. The game pits Clint 0-1 versus Shaw 1-0. I don't do this on purpose, Shaw. It just happens. I don't like your team. You're getting blown out. You're getting blowed out this week by Clint. Cam's going nuts this week. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and Lynch, solid. They're going off this week. AJ and either Reggie Wayne or Stevie Johnson. We'll see what you do with that other one, but they're going off this week. Tony Gonzalez versus Vernon Davis. I'll give you Vernon Davis. And again, you have Vic, but he's going against Baltimore. His wide receivers are nicked up. He throws 1,000 picks. Forte, he's a beast, but he doesn't do well against Green Bay. Gore, I just don't like Gore this year. He blew up last week, but I just don't know. I just don't believe in him this year. And Victor Cruz has got the dropsies. Macklin's dinged up. Garcon's dinged up. You're dinged up. This could be a 400 to 500 point victory for Clint. Blown out. And then the game of the week, it's the brothers Joel versus Chad Sexton. Both are 1-0 this year. F you, Chad, for beating me. But the bottom line is, this is going to be tight. I could see this being a 10 to 20 point game. Brady versus Romo. Romo versus Seattle. Brady versus Arizona. I'm going with Brady going big here. I think this is a big advantage, Brady, this week for you, Joel. So Joel gets Brady. Running backs, I'm going Ray Rice and Alf this week on the edge for Chad over DeMarco Murray versus a tough Seattle defense and Cedric Benson, who I think we saw last week is who we thought he was. Someone looking for a fucking job 2 weeks before the season. Wide receivers, Steve Smith versus New Orleans. New Orleans couldn't stop anything last week in deep balls. Steve Smith loves deep balls. Roddy White's a beast. I know you got Fitzgerald coming against New England. We'll see how he does. We'll see if that secondary and that front seven keep it going for New England. And then you got VJax, who I'm just not sure about. I know the Giants secondary looked pretty bad last week, but we'll see how VJax does. He's a boom or bust. And but I'm giving this edge over to Joel here. And then tight end obviously goes to you, Chad, with Jimmy Graham over Jacob Tammy. But all in all, I think the biggest advantage here is Tom Brady versus Arizona. And I think Tom Brady gets it done for Joel. And Joel pulls out a squeaker, but moves to 2-0. Chad moves to 1-1. And a quick recap, I'm beating Igor. Joey's beating Mikey. There's a game that I don't even give a fuck about. DeForge is losing to Justin. Clint's blowing out Shaw. And in the game of the week, Joel is taking down his brother Chad. Hopefully next week I'll be able to go through this thing with a clear mind, have a better video. But Joey, stop being a crybaby. Peace.